Hello, hello. It's still working.
Secretary of the Organizing Committee and Secretary of the Sarawak Badminton Association, to present the mementos. To the Reverend of the Tournament, Mr. E. Kote from Canada. To the deputy referee, Ms. Monique Patterson from Switzerland.
We have a picture. We're way better. Wednesday.
But you're going back to Denmark.
No, I stay here rather than going to lockdown for a week.
In fact, I might be on the same flight as you're going to right now from Denmark.
Hello and welcome to finals day at the Yonex Sunrise Malaysia Masters 2015, a tournament part of the Badminton World Federation Grand Prix Gold Series, a tier just below Super Series levels. We are in Kuching, the main city in the state of Sarawak, one of two Malaysian states situated on the island of Borneo. Malaysia is hosting 3 top tournaments a year, one being the Malaysian Open and the second the tournament of this week, the Malaysia Masters Grand Prix Gold. A tournament having a total prize money fund of $120,000 US. The Yonex Sunrise Malaysia Masters is kicking off the Grand Prix Gold calendar of 2015, consisting of a total of 10 tournaments. The second tournament will be next week in Lucknow. The race is really heating up. The race for Olympic qualification, although it officially do not start until 1st May, it is utmost important for the players to get a head start. The entry in this tournament clearly shows the importance of the qualification coming up. And have we got an exciting lineup for you this afternoon? And it's starting off with the women's doubles, the European champions Christinna Pedersen and Camilla Rytter-Juhl of Denmark against the unseeded pair Naoko Fukuman and Kurumi Yonao of Japan. This is followed by the women's singles Sayaka Takahashi of Japan against the former world junior champion Nozomi Okuhara. Followed by men's singles Yoon Hyuk-jin of Korea against the vastly experienced Lee Yun-il, also from Korea. This is followed by the mixed doubles, the bronze winners from the World Championship in Copenhagen, Jochen Fischer-Nielsen and Christinna Pedersen of Denmark against the up-and-coming Praveen Jordan and Debbie Susanto of Indonesia. Finally, we have the men's doubles, Chen Hongling and Wang Qilin of Chinese Taipei against the surprise from Japan, Kenta Kusuno and Kusushi Yamada of Japan. And we are, as you can see, having the players on the court, and Christinna Pedersen and Camilla Rytter-Juhl against Naoko Fukuman and Kurumi Yonao of Japan. And if we should take the Danes first, here we have the draw, the way to the final. And yesterday the Danes, Christinna Pedersen and Camilla Rytter-Juhl, really had to work very hard in that second game in the semi-final against Pia Bernadette and Rizky Pradipta of Indonesia, where they won 23-21 in the second game. On the other hand, we must say that the Japanese pair, Fukuman and Yonao, have worked ever so hard to get here. The quarter-final and the semi-final both went the full distance in 3 games before they secured it in the quarter-final 21-18 in the third, and in the semi-final 22-20 in the third and deciding game. So they had to work really hard to get here to the final. And as you can see, that quarter-final took 91 minutes. It's a long match. And the Danes here, Christinna in the picture is 28 years old, and her partner, Camilla Rytter-Juhl, with the back to the camera, is 31 years old. Christinna born in Aalborg in Denmark, and Camilla born in Skagen in Denmark. And at the moment, they are ranked 3 in the world. The best ranking they've ever had is 2 so far. And the Japanese pair here, on the other hand, the best ranking they've ever had is 37, but presently they are 124 on the world ranking. But that is mostly due to the fact that they have not played a lot of tournaments in 2014. They have actually only played 4 so far. So that's one of the reasons why this pair is a very good pair, but the ranking is not a true reflection.
Ready to play.
The 2 Japanese are lot younger than their opponents, 22 years of age, both of them, both born in 1992. And here we have the umpire, David Wong Peng Sing of Malaysia, and the service judge is Wong Yin Shi of Malaysia too. And the players are getting ready, their final preparations before the match is going to start. And obviously I can tell you a lot more about the Danish pair. They played 14 tournaments last year, and the last one was the Super Series finals, where they got to the quarterfinal just a month ago in Dubai. They are European champions of 2014. They won the Super Series finals in 2013, actually here in Malaysia, and at the World Championship in 2013 as well, they got the bronze. European champions in 2012 as well, and in 2012 they won the Malaysian Open Super Series in Kuala Lumpur.
Ready, please?
So we are all ready.
Ladies and gentlemen, on my right, Christinna
Get the game
Pedersen
going.
and Camilla Ritter Juhl, Denmark. And on my left, Kurumi Yonao and Naoko Fukuman, Japan. Christinna Pedersen to serve to Naoko Fukuman. Love all. Play.
Yeah, that's a good start for the Danes. Very powerful smash here from Christinna Pedersen. Getting the Danes on the way, 1-love up. That's nicely found the gap there by Camilla Ritter Juhl. The way she just very, very nicely guided the shot into that open space. That was very nice and very neat.
Three, love.
What a start for the Danish combination here. 4-love up. Christinna Pedersen in the picture is a very, very good server. On occasions, the opponents are complaining about the fact that she's holding that serve very, very long before she's actually striking it. And look at that. So that was a good return by Fukuman.
1-4.
That's a good, very, very good defensive, constructive defensive shot by Christinna Pedersen. That one there, that's a beauty. That's really well played and good follow-up by the two Danes. Approaching the net, really taking control. If you look at it from the perspective of the Japanese, I'm sure they really have to start finding the baseline and moving the two Danes away from the net, because they are so dominant up there. And that obviously comes from the fact they are top world-class players in mixed doubles as well. So for the Japanese really to get the rallies going, long rallies as best as possible, that will perhaps give them the opportunity and chance.
6-1.
Yeah, good attack by the Danes. Once again, they have been very dominant here in the early stages of the first game.
7-1.
7-1 up. Tells a clear picture. Yeah, that's a little small misunderstanding there. That one there, well played by Christinna. But it's a misunderstanding between the two Japanese, who to take it. And they really have to get good communication here in order to start scoring some points, because indecision is definitely not the way forward. Yeah, that's going wide. On the way to this final, the two Japanese, Fukuman and Yonao, they extinct the Malaysian hope, the home fans, Vivian Hu and Wong Ki Wei. They lost 21-17, 26-24 in the second round against this Japanese pair. It was a very tight match. And obviously the fans and everyone here in Malaysia had hoped the Malaysian pair to win, but that was not to be on that day in the second round this week.
Service over. 9.
The best results from the two Japanese players is the US International Challenge, where they won in 2014, and the Singapore International Challenge, they also won in 2014. So 2 wins last year, but still far not enough to get them up on the ranking. 124 is though not justifying how good a pair they actually is.
10-2.
Yeah, here we had some indecision from the Danes. Really well placed. Good smash.
10.
By Fukuman here. Very good smash right in the middle between the two Danes. An indecision who to take it. And once again, the Japanese really have to close the gap here. Have to find a way. 10-3 down. It will be very good for them if they could get to 5 or 6 at least before we get into the mid-game interval. That was not to happen.
11-3.
The Danes in full form, showing Very, very good spirit here. Hard attacks from the very word go. Good smashing, good attacking, good follow-up, and they have made it so difficult for the Japanese opponents here. 11-3 up, and as you can see, the Danes are not having a coach, but as I say, being 28 years and 31 years old, they have the experience, and the Danish Badminton Association has chosen not to send any coaches here, just having 2 entries and 3 players in the women's doubles and the mixed doubles. And we're obviously going to see the mixed doubles later this afternoon with Joachim Fischer-Nielsen and Christinna Pedersen.
11-3. Play.
So ready again. Camilla to serve. 11-3.
Service over. 4-11.
I still think, don't be fooled out there. I still think the Japanese will have a comeback in this match. Maybe they will not be able to win this first game, but surely they are going to work their way into the match, and who knows what's going to happen in the second.
Service over.
What a wonderful return here.
12-4.
From Christinna. We saw it yesterday in the semi-final where she did it twice, the same return, and yesterday as well it was 2 clear winners into that deep forehand corner.
13-4.
And here we had a very fine example where
Too long.
Yonao, she was almost falling over because Christinna is holding the serve very, very long indeed. And that's a winner. That's world class mixed doubles play, women's doubles play here from Christinna Pedersen.
4. Service over. 5-14.
Yeah, that's good play. Really good play by Fukuman here. Intercepting very nicely at the net.
14.
1 there, 2 there. But that's well played by Christinna. Very unlucky. She found the gap, but it was going wide.
Service over. 15-6.
Oh, I think that was going wide. I think that shot, there's a drift sideways, and I think the two Danes, they know it. They're smiling here because this one I feared was going out, but the Japanese thought better safe than sorry, but made a mistake. Maybe she should have left it.
Six. Play.
A good attack here by the Danes. The very, very powerful Camilla Juhl here, the left-hander.
Service over. 7-17.
Yeah, well left.
8-17.
So if we take the mid-game interval away, 11-3 the Danes were up. It's actually only 6-5 for the Danes in the second part of this first game. Now
over.
7-5, but
18.
it just shows that the match is getting a lot more even now, as the Japanese are sort of fighting their way into this match.
Service over. 9-18.
So just going back to my previous point, actually after the mid-game interval, it's now 7-all. Ah, that's good fighting. Very, very good fighting by Yonao. Getting that tricky shot back and kept the Japanese in this rally. A good disguise here by Camilla. Really nice disguise of the net. But good running by the Japanese.
11-18.
Getting it back. Here it comes. That's good by Fukuman.
Kurumi. Play.
And I have a feeling that, oh, hand signal. There's a second signal here, so does that mean anything special? No, not really. Once again, the short serve, the low serve into the tee, which is so easy to attack.
12-18.
And now suddenly the Japanese are getting into this. Once again, I have to draw your attention to the fact that they are 9-7 up in the second half. Since the mid-game interval, the Japanese is 9-7 up.
Service over. 19-12. Service over. 13-19. Service over.
Yeah, good attack here.
20.
Just clipping the top of
Game
the tape.
point, 13.
Christinna Peterson straight away apologises for her good fortune. So 7 game points coming up here, 20 game point, 13 for Denmark. And surely they will win this first game, but it will be interesting to see what will happen in the second game. I think the Japanese are warming up. They're getting into the match. They're sort of settling into the pace and the power of the two Danes. And let's see what they can do in the second game here.
Service over. 14-20.
Good return here from Christinna. But I must admit, it's an amazing depth that Japan is having in the women's game of badminton.
Game.
I was sort of
First game won by
the world
Christinna
ranking list for
Peterson
Japanese women's
and
doubles pairs.
Camilla Juhl.
And
21-14.
I think at least in the top 100 they have 7, 8, maybe even 9 pairs. It's incredible how many pairs the Japanese are having, and it just shows the very, very good work of Park Ju-bong, the chief coach of Japan, the Korean, the former world and Olympic champion. And what a wonderful job he has done in Japan over the last 7, maybe even 8 years now. And here we got the confirmation of the first game, 21-14 for Peterson and Juhl. I think the coach was clearly indicating that they should try to play some baseline badminton, see if they can pin the two Danes to the baseline and not go into these really fast and furious flat interchanges, because that's where the Danes are so good. They are very good on the first 1/3 of the court, and that's obviously, as I said earlier, due to the fact that they are very, very, very good mixed doubles players. Camilla Juhl, actually world champion, I think in 2009. She won with Thomas Laybourne in India. So she's a very, very good mixed doubles player. Thomas Laybourne not playing anymore, and Camilla is on occasion playing with
Second game. Love all.
But that mixed double pair
Play.
is not as successful as and when she played with Thomas Laybourne.
Service over. 1 love.
That was a beautiful follow-up by Fukuman.
Service over. 1 all.
Yonao definitely not happy with that smash. Had a good opportunity, just placed it at the top of the tape in the net, and it did not bounce over.
Three, 1.
And this is what the Japanese pair really have to try to avoid, playing that first 1/3 of the court, because this is what's happening. The Danes straight away get into a very commanding position, and the Japanese have to watch out. Yeah, it looked like not a very good return of serve, but I actually think that lift was excellent, because that pinned the Danes on the baseline and made them work from there. Well, yet another good start by the Danes, 5-1 up.
Six, 1. Play.
Yeah, that's well left by Christinna.
7-1.
That's a little bit amazing. I actually like the fact that she's lifting it and making sure that the Danes are standing on the baseline here once again. But the fact that they can't hit that baseline is quite extraordinary, I think, because as far as I can see, they're actually playing against the drift, unless it has changed from the previous days, and that means that they should have a little bit of help from the drift in the hall as well. And that's what I like about the Japanese pairs and players, and the fighting spirit. No matter how it looks, no matter how it goes, They have lost the first game 21-14 and now 8-2 down in the second, but still they have this fighting spirit. They fight for every single point. Oh, that's clever play by Camilla here. Just finding that mid-court area with a small disguise, trying to have a look at how she's running forward. Look at that, and then that disguise there, beautifully played. That's nice. And once again, the Danes having a very commanding lead in the first latter of this game. It's just amazing. They were 11-3 up in the first game and now they're 9-2 up in the second. I actually thought the Japanese might have a good start here to the second game and maybe had a small chance of upsetting the favourites from Denmark, the #1 seeds and world ranking #3.
Over. 3-9.
That's going long.
4.
So will we see the Japanese on a comeback here. They definitely need to get some points now. 4-9 down. I think Christinna is complaining about someone using flashlight amongst the spectators. And that's obviously very, very disturbing to the players. So straight away security is up there and asking the person to not use flashlight here while play is in progress.
Service over. 10-4.
Good serve by Camilla. Serving wide, good variation. Yeah, that's going long. And once again, the Danes going into the mid-game interval with a healthy lead. This time 11-4. In the first game, it was 11-3. That must definitely give the confidence to the Danes. They must believe that they have a very, very good chance of winning this final. But never take anything for granted. They still have to work hard because the Japanese will never ever say die.
Twenty second. 11-4, play.
And once again, the power of Camilla Juhl is quite awesome and almost impossible to defend. And once again, she scored a point and a good start to the second half of the second game here. Danes 2-love up, if you can say that. 13-4 now.
Service over. 5-13.
Yeah, good block shot there from Fukuman. Yeah, that's much better by the Japanese, really fighting for initiative here. That's good by Camilla, very nice.
Service over. 14.
Yeah, I don't think she anticipated it was the left-hander. The way she was running forward here, look at that, and obviously complete open space, and she's sort of shaking her head. Look at that, look at that. So while we're having a small break here, I can say that women's doubles is one of the categories on the world circuit that's, I wouldn't say struggling a bit, is probably a hard word, but in some of the Super Series tournaments around the world, they have a 32 draw, but sometimes it's not filled up. And I think it's got a lot to do with the extreme dominance from China in the women's doubles. They have many good players,
15.
and it means that perhaps other nations are saying, oh, we can never beat them, and possibly giving up on beforehand, and they should never do that, never. And one of the pairs really giving them a good fight, the Chinese, is this pair from Denmark. They work hard, the European champions, Christinna and Camilla Juhl. They give them a fight for their money.
7.
And as I mentioned earlier, they also win the big tournaments as they won in 2013. The Super Series finals. That's played in December every year.
Service over. 16-7.
Yeah. 16-7. The scores in your screen is lying a little bit, saying only 15-7. It's 16-7 for the Danes. Yeah, that's something Christinna Petersen has developed. Just a small smile here. You know, in the early days when I saw her play, she would never ever throw herself on the court like this. But now she's trying desperately, and look at that. Look at that smile, because she would never have done that 5 years ago. Interesting. It's very good fun here.
Thank you. Play. Change.
Yeah, the Japanese did not want to change that shuttle, but the umpire decided that the Danes were right, and a new shuttle is to be used. Yeah, fantastic interception here by Christinna Petersen. Look at this is well played by Fukuman, but look at that interception there. And sheer delight for the Danes, being 17-9 up. Just 4 points away from victory in this Malaysia Masters 2015, and that's another point.
18-9.
Yeah, good return.
Service over.
By Yonao here.
18.
So the Japanese into double figures, 10-18, still a major gap to close, and the Danes only 3 points away from victory. And chances were, they had a good chance there. Good play, good interception there by Fukuman.
11,
very nice.
18.
Look at this, rack it up, ready. That's very nice to see. So once again we see a small comeback from the Japanese pair here, just like what happened in the first game. But I fear it's a little bit too little too late.
19.
And now the Danes just 2 points away, 19-12. And match point has arrived. 8 in total. 20 match point, 12 for the Danes.
You select. Yes. No drinking.
Yeah, the Danes full of confidence, as you can see, smiling and very happy with how the way this match is going. Obviously they were top favourites to win the tournament, but when you enter a tournament like this you never know, and I think the Danes are very happy with a comfortable win. It's not going to happen this time. 13-20.
It's over. 13-20. Change. No. Still okay.
And that's landed in.
14-20.
So should the Danes win the next point here, it will be symmetry in the scores, 21-14, 21-14. But let's see. So far the Japanese saved 2 match points. And that's going wide. And the Danes celebrating the victory. Symmetry in the scores. 21-14, 21-14. Very happy to win. Thanking the fans in the stadium here for the support for the full week.
Match won by Christinna Pedersen and Camilla Ritter Juhl.
Here we have the match point, and that's going wide.
21-14.
And a racket was thrown into the crowd and they just love it. A souvenir from some of the best players in the world in the game of women's doubles and mixed doubles. And here we got the confirmation. Christinna Pedersen, Camilla Ritter Juhl, 21-14, 21-14 against Fukuman and Yonao of Japan. And they even got time to sign a few autographs here with the fans in the stadium. And we're ready for the ceremony here, the prize giving ceremony. And everyone is making their way to the podium here.
Presiden Persatuan Badminton Negeri Sarawak, Yang Mulia Tengku Tan Sri Dr. Mahathir Tengku Arif, Presiden Persatuan Badminton Malaysia, dan yang berbahagia Datuk Haji Abang Abdul Wahab bin Abang Haji Julai, Datuk Bandar Kuching, bagi menjemput dan mengiringi yang amat berhormat Datuk Petinggi Tan Sri Dr. Haji Adnan bin Haji Satim, Ketua Menteri Sarawak. Dipersilakan.
Women's doubles, Yonex Sunrise Malaysia Masters 2015. Runners-up, Naoko Fukuman Kurumi Yonao, Japan.
And the runners-up here from Japan, Naoko Fukuman and Kurumi Yonao, receiving the mascots of the tournament. The medals as well, and then most likely a big check. So let's see. Yes, and here we got the check of $4,560 US for sharing between the two players.
Yonex Sunrise Malaysia Masters 2015 part of BWF Grand Prix Gold Series champions Christinna and Camilla.
And the winners from Denmark, Christinna Pedersen and Camilla Juhl. They came into this tournament as clear favourites, and they showed the world that they could do it once again. The two tall Danes, powerful play, very, very strong at the net, the front of the court, just proved to be too much for everybody else in this tournament. And then we have the Sarawak Chief Minister handing over the prizes, the souvenirs and the check here.
$480
for the players. $9,480 US to be shared between the two players, and then the traditional pictures. And yes, all big smiles from the Danes. They can leave Malaysia with yet another victory. And now we are getting ready for the next final, which will be the women's singles. Tayaka Takahashi of Japan, number 3 seed, against the number 4 seed and former world junior champion Nozomi Okuhara, also of Japan. But first we need to get all the court officials onto court, and here they come, as you can see. And in the bottom of your picture you can see the women's doubles players leaving the court.
Umpire Naoko Fukuman Kurumi. Service judge Malaysia.
While we're waiting for the players to take the court, the height of the net is just checked by the service judge, which is Muhammad Salman of Malaysia. And here we have Takahashi in the picture, the left-hander, 22 years old, and has really worked very hard on the circuit in 2014. Her best ranking came in March, where she was all the way up to 11, and presently here January 2015 she is 16 on the world ranking. Her opponent, here we have her, is Nozomi Fukuhara, and she is only 19 years old, only 155 centimeters high, but man, she can run. She's a very, very good runner. She's presently number 24 on the world ranking, and last year she sort of eased her way back into badminton after a long injury, so it's so nice to have her back. Good to see her on court again. So this is the way to the final, and if we look at Fukuhara, she has played very convincingly on the way. She's won in 2 sets, first round, second round and the quarter-final. But yesterday in the semi-final she lost the first game to PV Sindhu of India. She lost 21-19 but won very convincingly 21-13, 21-8 in the last two. And that's a very good victory for Fukuhara, beating PV Sindhu, who's 11 on the world ranking presently and got a bronze medal at the World Championship in Copenhagen in August. In the picture here we have Takahashi, and she had some very good results last year, 2014. She got to the quarter-final of the Japan Open Super Series and she won the German Open Grand Prix Gold, where she beat Sung Ji-hyun from Korea in the final. And here, as you can see, the semi-final was 84 minutes yesterday, so it was close to an hour and a half, and that's despite the scores in the second and the third game, as I just told you, 21-13,
Ready to play.
21-8.